Welcome to the YCHYFUS Kung Fu podcast. I'm Darren Jones. Him down there is
I
in
do not have
Japan.
down there. I'm not down there with me, but I'm Clive
Well,
Davis anyway.
well, he's Clyde Davis, and he
Yeah,
can be wherever he wants to be.
yes.
And the final illustrious host of this podcast is
Rodney Dennis, aka Rodney Shapes.
There we
the
go.
Shapes Man himself.
That's right.
Yes.
The
So
lads are back.
we are.
Yeah.
So back
Sad
where there's-
occasion though to bring us
Yeah,
back.
yeah. So
Yes. Very sad.
yeah. So very recently, Mr. Carl Scott passed away.
Yes. Yeah, passed away.
And
Grandmaster Carl Scott.
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And if you've ever seen him on screen, you will understand he's a master of kung fu.
Yes.
Right?
Top shelf.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he
And-
karate guy? He was right, I think, to begin with, wasn't he?
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah. But
Then
yeah,
he
it seems
started doing a
every
bit of
time we
left
get
and-
we get
So he
ready to
started
do
doing-
one of these, someone else
Yeah.
pops their clogs, doesn't they?
It's happening too often, isn't it, really?
yeah.
Yeah, every time we do one, someone does pass.
Yeah.
It's a bit, yeah.
But we're in that. But the thing is that when you specialize on a particular era, which is
yeah.
the classic era of kung fu cinema, right? They're all
Yeah.
about the same age, aren't they?
Yeah, because sadly,
Yeah.
the older we get, the less time they have, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
look at
Yeah.
it that way, so...
Yeah. And and it just watching, because we've watched 3 out of 4. We're reviewing 3 out of 4 of his whole filmography.
That's
He made
right,
4
yeah.
4 films in Hong Kong.
But 5, it turns out, because apparently
Oh.
this must be a new edition because it didn't used to have it on the Hong Kong movie. This must have come out just after he died. But apparently he's somewhere into the dragon.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah, I did actually hear that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
According to the
ago.
Hong Kong movie database, he's in there somewhere. So there's 2 films that aren't vehicles, right? There's that, and he's in somewhere in Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth, as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw him sitting down in that film, but someone told me there's a fight in it, but I couldn't see no fight scene in there.
No.
Maybe in the back. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, isn't there, in that film?
Yeah, but I remember him sitting down while I think Bruce Lee was training or something like that, but he was sitting down. But that's all I saw of him in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember him fighting at all.
No.
I need to. That's a film I really need to rewatch. Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth, because I don't think I've seen it since I've become a bit, a fanatic. I saw it, I suppose, when I was a normie, and it's one of those films that I think I'd appreciate a whole lot more now.
That film's I watched that about last year and I loved it.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah, I think I might like it a lot
It's
now.
a great film, yeah.
Seeing it back in the day, I didn't appreciate it,
No,
yeah,
same.
great soundtrack as well.
I only remember
Very
using the electronic devices to fight thing,
Yeah.
which will turn up again in today's show, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah. But yeah, so Carl Scott, once you've seen him, you can't forget him.
No,
right?
you can't.
Obviously, it's unusual to see
That's right.
African American bloke in Hong Kong cinema. So
yes, exactly.
That obviously makes him memorable.
Yeah. And moving like that, as well.
I mean, he's cutting it with the best of them.
The best.
Right? Yeah.
He definitely kept up with everyone, really.
Yeah. And he's not a terrible actor either.
No.
He's all right.
He's just, it's fine.
He's very young as well, isn't he? In these, he's very, very young.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching the podcast with Sean, and they actually spoke about this film the other day, and he was 16.
Really?
Soul Brothers.
Yeah, in Soul Brothers.
Years old.
Yeah, he might even be 15, 16, something like that. He's very
16
young.
in Soul Brothers. Yeah.
So in Enter the Dragon, he must be like 13 or something.
I'm saying, but look how he was moving at the age of 16.
Yeah, and I was looking it up. I looked up some obituaries and stuff, but I have to admit, I didn't. I either viewed it because I was kind of interested. Like, I understand he would have been doing martial arts or whatever, but how did he end up?
Yeah, how did he get
in Hong Kong at that age? I don't
know. No idea.
No, I couldn't find any. There's not a lot of biography about it.
No.
Anywhere.
Yeah, but is there any? He's done a few interviews, right? I haven't seen them though, but he's done 1 or 2 interviews. So
honestly, I don't.
print.
Yeah.
Then
I
maybe
think-
he must have meant. Yeah, it must be a mention of that. How he got in there. How he
yeah,
got in his
probably.
films.
Yeah.
Print interviews or video ones?
No, I think video.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good point, actually, because he had quite a big social media presence, you know, and
Yeah.
you'd think that there'd be just a promotional video of him talking about his kung fu school, right?
Yeah.
With him mentioning his time in Hong Kong, but it just doesn't
There's not
seem
much.
to.
Yeah, it's
No.
not much. Yeah.
Very young, very, very, very young.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the dates as well, just talking about unusual seeing a black fella in these films as well. Like, what's the timeline? Like, when did Ron Van Cleef start doing stuff?
I don't know. Was that
Early,
like
isn't it?
was that mid-70s? Was it?
Yeah, maybe
74, 75, probably.
Yeah.
a little
around that
earlier,
time, yeah.
right? A little earlier.
Yeah.
Mm.
Earlier, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really compare. I mean, I like Ron Van Cleef, but he doesn't seem to be quite the machine that like some in
No.
some scenes in these films you
Yeah.
see Carl Scott in action, and yeah, man, was he
Yeah, yeah.
he
But
could
Carl Scott, see, the way he moved, that wasn't normal for a Westerner.
No.
no.
Not
I
to be
don't
moving
remember
like
Ron
that.
Van Cleef ever looking like that, right?
Not
No.
like that. No. I mean,
No.
yeah. I mean, Ron Van Cleef is excellent, but the way Carl was moving is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy had me doing leopard fist or panther in my kitchen when I
Ah,
was a kid. Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I first saw that, I thought, what's happening here?
Yeah. And he does like nunchucks.
Oh yes, he does.
He loves his nunchucks.
He does,
And that's
yeah.
like a fucking blur, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, but obviously,
So we're going to be talking the three Carl Scott vehicles, right? In order, starting with Soul Brothers of Kung Fu, then A Hard Way to Die, and then Kung Fu Executioner. Right, Soul Brothers. Now, this was the one I hadn't actually seen before.
oh really?
I could have
Okay.
sworn I had the Zenon tape.
Yeah.
I can see it now, the carbon
Yeah.
cover and everything, but apparently not. It was totally new.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd seen it before, but I think I had confused it with a completely different film. In fact, I had confused it with a completely different film
Yeah.
because I couldn't work out which was which. So
Which film
I
had you confused it with then?
I can't remember.
Ah,
It obviously doesn't have Carl Scott in.
Yeah, because
So
I mean, last time I watched it, I was quite young when I watched this before, so I hadn't watched it in a long time. I don't know why.
no. Well, this
Well,
wasn't. Hang on.
well, so it's a bit of a step
Yes,
up,
but-
obviously, from Bits in Enter and Bruce Lee, the Man and the Myth, but he is
Yeah.
still a little bit wasted in this film, it has to be said.
He's very much a side character, isn't he?
Yeah, they could have given him a lot more to do, and
to
you know,
do.
when we get to Hard Way to Die, then we're talking. But
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's not a bad debut for the screen time he had.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. No.
16-year-old, you know, and
Mm.
you know, because I mean, obviously he had a lot more screen time than his other well in the film before.
Yeah, and this is
So-
the first time he's holding his own as well, right? So
Yes,
he's,
that's
you
right.
know,
I mean, he did have quite a lot of screen time,
So
you know.
I'll get the basic plot out the way because it's actually fairly simple, really. So you got Bruce Lee. Sorry, I keep calling
Careful.
him Bruce Lee because me and Darren did. For whatever reason, me and Darren grew up in this weird bubble where we never heard him referred to as Bruce Lee. So we've
No.
always referred to him as Bruce Lee, like that.
Lee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's Bruce Lee. Bruce
Yeah,
Lee.
because there's another
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, L-A-I, right?
Yeah.
LEI, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
for
I
me and
think-
Darren, it's
yeah.
he's always been Bruce Lee.
I
Yeah.
think that one was in Clones, wasn't he? That, you know, LEI, or was it Dragon on Fire?
They're all in
Kind of it.
clones.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, yeah, true.
So anyway, Bruce Lee, Lo Meng. Interesting to see Lo Meng as well, because he would have been a rising Venom at this point, right?
Yeah, because
Well-
obviously he didn't do many independents, and I can't. How many other independents was he in?
Not many, I don't think. No.
Yeah, not a
No.
lot. Well, not until he's in Taiwan. Because he is in Taiwan for quite a bit, isn't he?
No. He didn't really go to Taiwan, did he? He was mainly the others. He
I was thinking Lu Feng. Sorry.
he
Yes,
stayed
yes,
Hong
yes,
Kong,
yes.
didn't he?
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah.
Lu Feng.
Yeah, that's the others. Yeah, he was more
Yeah,
Hong
yeah.
Kong based, but
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think independent films. What other ones?
No.
I can't even.
Not a lot. And this is like, you know, he's done. So what's he done? So Venom's comes out in 77, right?
Yeah, no, he's slap bang in the middle of Venom.
Yeah. So he's done. He's
Yeah.
done Chinatown Kid. He's done Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
He's in the Shaw Brothers mix
Yeah.
at this time, isn't he?
Yeah, but also he might have filmed this beforehand, wouldn't it? He might have, and then
Yeah.
might have come out a bit later. I think this film was filmed earlier, and then it came out a bit later. Yeah.
Okay.
Should mention as well what we're watching. So the Shaw Brothers of Kung Fu, aka Last Strike, aka Tiger Strikes Again, aka Kung Fu Avengers. Now, what are we watching? The one I watched a 93-minute, 46-second composite, but missing the. It's just got the sad. Oh, spoiler alert! Carl Scott. Well, spoiler alert for real life as well. Now it turns out, but Carl Scott dies, right? But there's an alternative ending where he doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he stands with Bruce Lee, and they're playing the Rocky music.
Yeah, because I remember the Zen and VHS release had both of them on, didn't it?
Yeah, but there's a lot of cut scenes in this film. There's like what's the one on YouTube? And I had different quality, different quals in the scenes. So there's obviously uncut bits in there.
Yeah,
I think
I watched the composite. Yeah, but what? Yeah.
So the composite was put out by who the fuck put it out? It's some really. It's like a limited 200 release.
Okay.
There's something exploitation, and yeah, no, it's pretty rough in places, right? Obviously, the elements are looked after. Are good. So so but there is an alternative kind of happy ending where Carl Scott survives. But to be honest, I think this makes more sense because it's kind of a dark film. Or it gets
it kind of gets dark. It's quite like high from not from the start. Obviously, you see him in, they're obviously washed up and that. But
that's what we're talking about.
Take a turn. It does take a turn, doesn't it? In this film, it does get
it does.
Dark.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that. And you were saying independent. These are all from Hao Ming's The Eternal film as well, right? All three.
Yeah.
So Bruce Lee Lo Meng and Susanna Aoyang Puisan, I'm not sure where they're from. I don't know if they're from the mainland or if they're supposed to be Vietnamese, like boat people.
Yeah.
But basically they're adrift.
Yeah.
And suddenly get rescued, and they end up in Hong Kong, just trying to make a living, right?
Make a living, that's right. Yeah.
And they end up basically butting heads with Ku Feng, who's like a business tycoon gangster guy.
That's right. Yeah. Because obviously Carl Scott's obviously getting beaten up.
That's right. They rescue him.
Obviously, there's quite a lot of racism in this film.
Yes.
Quite a lot. And the fact is, you said they're just beating him up because he was black, but the thing is, didn't they give him a job anyway?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just beating him up, just beating him up. Obviously, Bruce Lee sort of obviously comes in, and obviously helps him out, and then obviously they become good friends. Don't know after that.
Yeah.
And he kind of sort of takes him in. Yeah, he kind of takes him in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then starts teaching him martial arts.
And also helps him So Bruce Lee's working out with this awesome anatomical doll thing.
Yeah.
With a pair of bollocks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got a howl of laughter from me.
That was good.
That was brilliant.
The sound effects, isn't it? Yeah.
And the electronic device thing from Bruce Lee the Man. That's an odd thing for that to pop up twice. I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Is there? I feel as if I have read somewhere that there's a bit of truth. I think Bruce Lee didn't he maybe train with some sort of electronic device at some point?
Yeah, he used to put like electrodes on himself, didn't he? That was. I think that's what I understood.
Yeah, I think it's based on something a little bit
on that. Yeah, because obviously I think they had to sort of throw that bit in, didn't they? The Bruce Lee part in there.
Yeah,
because really, is this film an exploitation movie?
Yeah, well, it is. It's a Leo-like film. This is a Leo-like film.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
if
you actually just watch the plot and everything else, I mean, he might do the odd sound effect when he's fighting, but it's obviously when he mentioned kind of Bruce in this film, the actual plot is like obviously this another modern day film, obviously then getting in trouble with you know, a dodgy gang boss or whatever.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
I think this qualifies for a Lear-like film just based on Bruce Lee's performance in it, just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he is Brucing it up, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying, because he kind of got mentioned, obviously, when he went to fight in the tournaments.
Yeah, because there's a
Yeah.
bit in it, isn't there? Is where it's something I did write it down, but I'm probably not going to find it in my notes. But but it's like Bruce Lee's like looking all contemplative, and either Carl Scott or his girlfriend comes up and asks him, what are you thinking about?"
Yes.
I was just thinking about Bruce Lee.
Yes, he went too quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Yeah.
handful of weird Bruceploitation films that get super meta where Bruce Lee actually exists in the world. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
always
yeah,
gets
exactly.
really
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So he's
yeah.
not meant to be Bruce Lee, but
Yeah.
But he is. But it's in
He
the
is,
yeah.
Yeah, because she
And
kind of
then-
said to him, like, she kind of goes, like, he went too far. Then he goes, yeah, but he left his mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
some
and that's the other
some
thing.
people are calling you the next Bruce Lee, and they're like, "Well, I don't know about that, but
What
it's
about that?
humble
Yeah.
brag.
But he
It's
left
like,
his, but he left
got
his
work
mark.
to do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the other thing. That's the other thing. There's the perennial fucking soundtrack to movies of this period is in that thoughtful moment, you know, where Ho Chung Tao is just like, it's the Carrie music. It's the music from Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah.
Ah, interesting. I have to make a note of that. Of course, the other big, if we're talking music drops, it's
Rocky.
Bill Conti's Rocky
That's
score,
right.
and a little bit of Live and Let Die.
Yes, right at the end.
Yeah.
But
you know,
anyway,
Bruce Lee's always known for his soundtracks, isn't he, in these films?
Yeah.
There was always some decent funk playing in the background.
Yeah.
There's a training scene, always.
Yeah.
So this stays relatively grounded, basically knocking about, keep butting heads with Ku Feng, and then it gets a bit unlikely, where Bruce Lee is sent to Madison Square Garden to fight in some kind of fucking mixed martial arts. There's like a TIE fighters and stuff, isn't there?
Listen here.
Because of it, he's training Chang Tao, isn't he, to fight him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. They both end up at this tournament, incredibly unlikely. And he ends up kicking him square out the ring, right? So Ku Feng.
But with that weird red background, that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You can hardly see anything.
But Clive, both of you. Now we mustn't criticize films that have unexplained tournaments in the middle.
No, absolutely.
Right? Because we like
out of nowhere.
It's just the way it was shot, though. That red background. I don't understand that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe there might be a little small chance that they didn't go and film outside Hong Kong by any chance?
Yeah.
No. Because I definitely saw the back of Ho Chung Tao's head, right, while he's in Madison Square Gardens. That was definitely the back of his head, surely.
Anyway,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Then back in Hong Kong, Ku Feng's so pissed off that he has some bad dudes attack Susan. So that's also a bit of a love triangle thing between
with Lo Mang and the bar girl. Yeah.
But Lo Mang kind of bows out after a while. So and then we get what's his name? Alexander Grand turns up as one of the
Alexander.
Right?
He's been about this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's him.
I'm sorry, I've got to say it. What do you think I'm going to say?
TV.
He was in the ATV series.
Oh, was he?
I've got a clip of him boxing in it. He's actually boxing in it.
Oh, cool.
He's a boxer. I forgot the series, but I do have it. I forgot what it's like a gangster series.
Oh, we'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, a clip of that would be lovely to see.
But he's in there. I mean, this guy's been around. Fist of Fury, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he one of the? I think is he one of the gunmen at the end on the right, at the side of the screen? I'm sure that's him. I saw a picture of it.
I'm not sure.
But I'm sure he's one of the gunmen on the bottom on the right.
But he's got a main part in Fist of Fury as well, isn't he?
So what? He was one of the guys who shot him at the end. Then
is it? I don't know. Yeah,
yes,
it's been so long since I've seen Fist of Fury.
Yeah. And he's been about. He's in loads of films, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He is, and he's in another one we'll be talking about today.
Yeah. But the thugs. So the thugs that Ku Feng send after Bruce Lee, and particularly the girl, are
Gets a bit
um,
rapey.
Alexander, Lee Hoi-san,
Yeah,
and Peter Changling,
that's
Yes.
right.
the famous karate master Peter Changling.
Yeah.
Wonder.
So he was because he wasn't doing comedy in this, was he?
No,
He's
no,
meant to
no,
be
because
comedy,
he's
isn't he?
no, but he's kind of, I think we're catching him at his kind of lean, you know, rent-a-thug
Yeah,
period before he
yeah.
gets into comedy, didn't we?
Yeah, with Samo. I think Samo obviously took him on, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
also like to think that obviously Carl Scott and Lee Hoi-sang had a bit of solidarity there, because Lee
Yeah, of
Hoi-sang
course.
being the other famous black kung fu in Enter the Fat Dragon. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that walk he did.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that
no.
The
I found it
70s.
funny, mate.
Yeah,
A very different
but
time
yeah,
indeed.
yeah. What, just like in Don't Give a Damn 20 years later
Oh,
Oh
that
yeah,
was
that's
well,
by the
that,
same
that, that was
director.
bad. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad.
Mm.
That was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But that rape scene's really fucking nasty, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that
On
was
top,
bad.
on the car bonnet, and then they
It
just
was
fucking
bad.
mow her down.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah,
And
so,
and,
yeah, so
and
she
that's
ends
kind
up.
of where it turns, isn't it? So
Yes, that's
where the
exactly where
film
it turns. It
turns
turns
on
Yeah,
a
dark.
dime.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then she
Yeah.
gets away and then gets run over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what's flipping
Yeah,
hell?
yeah. And this is where they amp up not exactly the gore, but the kind of the roughness of the violence, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it gets quite nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Lee got done bad, didn't he, by Leroy San?
Mm.
He done him quite bad, didn't they? They all
Yeah.
done him bad, didn't they?
Oh yeah. But then, if they hadn't done that, he wouldn't be able to train Iron Finger.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but obviously, what happened to his missus? It was quite bad because obviously he tried to get over it and he couldn't.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
quite a
yeah.
nasty scene, man.
That was
Yeah, it's like,
I hadn't seen this for decades, right? But that actually hadn't really remembered the scene.
well,
I
I
thought,
was
fucking hell,
surprised
that's
that
a
was on
bit.
YouTube, mate.
Yeah,
I
that was
thought,
on there.
This is a bit. I thought, oh, that's a bit.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
haven't watched it in years. I thought, well, that's a bit rough.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's kind
man.
of that's
Yeah.
on that's almost on a, not quite as bad. That's almost on a level of shit, what is it? Iron Fisted Monk, right?
Oh God.
Yeah, without the
Yes.
nudity. But
So
yeah.
yeah, just to tidy up, just the basic, and then of course Lo Meng and him obviously get estranged and end up having to fight, and of course Carl Scott has some stuff to do in there as well, but he just kind of turns up here and there, looks good when he's there, but unfortunately
Yeah.
not as big a part as it should be,
Part. Yeah.
really. And some great it's interesting. So I was looking this up, but obviously Quentin Tarantino's a huge fan of this film, right?
Oh yeah, I did hear that mentioned as well. Yeah, he loves this film.
You can tell why, because it's that sort of, I think there's a certain category of obviously you've got this whole history of, you've got all these kung fu films or whatever, but there's a certain type, isn't there, that just took the roof off at grindhouses, right? And they're usually more modern as well, maybe. And also because you got Carl Scott in there as well, you've got that whole kind of weird 70s 42nd Street blaxploitation meets kung fu thing that was going on. I mean, people forget about it now, but you'd have like brothers out on the street dressed in fucking full robes and stuff.
Oh yeah,
right.
And I think I think when they did screenings, they would show a kung fu film and an exploitation movie on the same bill, wouldn't they?
That was
I mean, that whole thing.
That's where we go in when we get the time machine, right?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's that whole thing in The Last Dragon where Bruce Leroy's like eating chopsticks with popcorn. So, I mean, that's just one step further than the real thing, right? Like it was pretty strange out there.
I still need to see that. I still haven't seen that film.
Sure enough, you need to see that.
Yeah, you need to see that film, man.
I know. I never saw it.
I saw that in the cinema as well when I was young.
Oh, did you?
Wow. We could do that on here, actually. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
No, that way. I had a bit of an idea of doing like, what's that other film called? Jim Carter, Jim Tarka, whatever.
Jim Carter.
Carter.
Jim Carter, Last Dragon, and something else.
Like American
Ninja. Yeah, like a Guaylo kind of special.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Yeah, so I think this fits. There's like a handful of those types of kung fu films, right, that became these major kind of cult titles
Yeah.
that people like remember. And I get it, even though this film's a bit of a narrative hot mess, really, and all over the place. And I totally understand
Yeah.
why this has a cult following. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
about it. It's got this propulsive kind of nature, and it gets a little bit nasty, and it gets a little bit rapey, and
It
then
does, yeah, it
it's got
does.
the
Yeah,
balls sticking out
there's a lot in
thing.
there. There's a lot
Yeah.
thrown in this film, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah, and obviously
Yeah.
you've got the kind of obviously the brotherhood thing with the three guys, and obviously one
Yeah.
goes the other way, you know.
Yeah, that's
and then,
good. And that's like
yeah,
straight out of Chinatown, kid,
that's what I'm
right?
saying. Yeah,
That's
and
like,
obviously his girlfriend, she was kind of warning him, wasn't she, about
mm,
what he was doing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
she was right, really. She goes, "Oh, people change.
yeah,
People change later on, and she was kind of warning him about it, getting into fights and what was going to happen.
yeah, yeah.
And
But
then look what happens. Yeah, she was
but
kind of warning. Yeah,
it's a really good quality,
yeah,
modern day,
yeah,
not really Bruceploitation, but there's a
yeah.
bit of it in there. But it's a
Yeah,
really
that's right.
good modern day.
Yeah, some of these
for the
Well, like,
70s
it's got
moderns are very underrated. Some of these 70s modern
70s. Absolutely.
kungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I
Or
said, it's got a
also
dab.
or-
You were saying, Darren, it's a little bit Bruceploitation, and it's a little bit blaxploitation, and it's got a
Yeah.
little bit of everything. It's like
Yeah.
a smorgasbord of grindhouse. It's only
is.
That's right.
missing. Yeah, the only thing it's missing, there's no spaghetti western in it, but then we've got Hard Way to Die coming up, right? So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of
I
fun.
loved
Yeah.
I loved watching
And
this
there's
again.
quite some good death scenes at the end.
Yeah.
where
Oh,
Bruce
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
gets his
So,
own
sorry,
back.
forgot to mention that was the other part of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that's mixed in, and the other reason I think this works, is because it's got a little bit. It's got the Japanese bodyguard stuff, because it's got the X-rays of bones being,
That's right.
and the
Yes.
fucking finger in the heart, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
because Alex, he got it bad, didn't he?
well, he's
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
that gets
yeah.
the balls, isn't he? I think. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously Kufeng gets the old thing, didn't he? The iron finger.
Yeah. Right in the
And
heart.
then you hear the sound effects, don't you?
Yeah.
When he's obviously dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I think and that's like a remnant of the bashers, right? Because that's what the
Yeah.
bashers did, isn't it? You had the
Yeah.
old X-ray of ribs cracking and all
That's
that
what I'm
stuff.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like So I think you're right, Glenn. This is a nice. It's got a nice little sprinkling of everything,
Yeah.
all in a nice proportion. All in just the right proportions. It's not a classic,
I'd love to have seen this
but
in a
it's
proper grindhouse on a triple
Grindhouse,
bill.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
yeah, and it's got the Rocky soundtrack, and
Yeah.
I love the Rocky soundtrack
Yeah.
because it's inspiring and it's nice and funny to see this in
That's
Hong
right.
Kong with the Rocky
Yeah.
soundtrack.
And the fighting's good as well. It
Fighting's
kind of
great.
like starts with kind of shapes, and then obviously gets more rugged.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and this is quite early, right, for that kind of choreography.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is
ahead of its
Yin
time.
So
Chang
you-
Yan and Shu Sha, right?
Hasu Hasia.
Oh, sorry, I pronounced it some ridiculous way there. There we go.
Oh, the King of Sticks. Then
Yeah,
that's easier.
And they're both
Yeah,
in
exactly.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I just noticed that I know Rodney is TV Rodney and Rodney Shapes, but I'm thinking we might need to call him Audio Rodney or something from now on, because I've noticed Rodney's very tuned in.
He's got the needle drops, hasn't he?
Sound effects
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dubs, and
Yeah.
you're tuned into that.
Yeah.
We might need to give you a new moniker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got quite a few already, mate. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Doing
That's
some
true.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get confusing.
Yeah. So conclusion then. Yeah, this is a
This is
bunch of fun.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent film.
Yeah.
As my dad would say, he would call it a good town kung fu. That's what he calls moderns.
Town Kung. Oh, I like that.
Town.
But he
Town
turned it
kung
off,
fu.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Town kung fu. That's what he calls moderns. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I would
so-
have seen this on a double bill with a Paul Nashi film,
Yeah.
and like Leo Fong in Blind Fury or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
That would be good. Yeah, for sure.
So up next, Bruce Willis saves the Takitama Tower in Hard Way to Die, Good Day with a Vengeance. Is that what we're doing? Did I
Yes,
get confused again?
or Sun Dragon.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that
Yes.
sounds a bit better.
'Cause
That
I've
way,
always known it as Sun Dragon.
always. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Hard Way to Die, aka Sun Dragon from 1979. And now we're talking this is my pick of the bunch of these three, I have to say.
Okay.
And it's the
Yeah.
best in terms of the Carl Scott-ness of it all, right? This is the
Yes,
showcase, I think.
Yes, yes. I mean, I think also there's a case to be made for this as the best Eastern Western.
You've nailed it there. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. All those
Yeah.
other ones,
Yeah,
fighting
Stranger and the
Samurai
Gunfighter,
Joe,
and
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
this is the best one. I totally agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is non-stop comic book action from
Yeah.
beginning to end.
It's non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not fucking let up at all.
No.
Not at all.
Now, let's be honest, it's not going to be winning any awards for authentic period production design.
No,
No,
because there's
not at
people
all, mate.
running around with fucking digital watches on and fucking
Yeah.
jeans jackets and
I'm not quite sure when this film is set, but it doesn't matter.
well,
No, it doesn't
actually, you know,
matter.
I'll tell you what throws you off, right? This film, for all we know, this film could be set in 1979, right?
Yeah.
But it's
Could
the
be.
fact that the film opens with Billy Chong walking down a railroad
Yes.
and coming across some Chinese railroad workers.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's where it gets you.
Well, and the fact
Yeah.
that people hang out in saloons and things as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah,
Because
take a
obviously
point.
that first scrap he does, because I think he was asking for directions, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
steps on
Yeah.
he steps on the board,
Yeah, they're playing
scoreboard, right?
draft
I
or
mean,
something.
that's quite clumsy for Billy Chong, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he's meant to be a precise martial artist.
He's not
And is
normally
it
that
me?
clumsy.
No, I know, but is it me, right? Or it might be the fact that I'd watched Soul Brothers first, and then I watched this. But
Yeah.
is it me, or is Billy Chong brucing it up a bit in this as well?
I think there's little bits, but I don't think the
It's
sound
like it.
effects. They might have little bits.
There's something Brucey about Billy Chong in this. I don't know if it's just Ho Chung Tao bleeding into me because
I thought he was
close
channeling
together.
a more Bruce Forsyth.
Oh, Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah, when he was doing all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah,
great
yeah.
Bruce of our age.
But I think,
That's
I
it.
think he was more boosting it up in the other film we're going to discuss. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
you know what? Maybe I've actually confused the two. Yeah. But no, I don't think I have.
By the
Well,
way,
anyway.
apparently in France, this film is called Black Jim Le Magnifique, which is quite a nice
Really?
title. Yeah.
That's got a good title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, you know, this film, you know, it's their real voices. Do you know that?
Who, what, where?
This is their real voices in this movie.
I was wondering about
Is
that.
it?
Like, it's clearly
It's
not
not
on
done, mate.
set
It's their
sound,
real
but
voices.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I
And you know
suppose
what?
there's so many
Yeah.
Western actors in it that it would make sense to film it in
Yeah.
English, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and think about it. None of these voices you never heard before, have you? In other films, have you?
True. Yeah, good point. I hadn't thought of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
unlike
it's their real
the
voices.
unlike the fake Madison Square Garden, this is actually shot in Arizona, right?
That's what I mean.
There's no
Yeah, they're in like the
faking.
fucking Grand Canyon. It's like they're there. You know, they
Yeah,
have
there's-
influence on-
There's like
yeah.
no mistake, like they're in the landscape, right? It's not like they just
Yeah.
choose stock footage of some
Yeah.
interiors maybe might have been shot in Hong Kong, I don't know, but
But I'm sure one of those guys at the beginning, you know, when he stepped on the board, I saw one guy was doing like a Jamaican accent. He was trying it. He goes like, "Yeah, man." Do you remember that bit?
Yeah,
There's
there's
one guy, some
yeah.
random voice. I thought, what was that?
It's a good way to start a film, but it's a weird way to start a
It
film.
was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
and you got Alexander in there again, haven't you?
Yeah, Alexander. No, right, unusual. Well, not that unusually actually, but this is. I'll give you an example, right? And I hadn't realised that this had happened to me until it happened in this film, right? So I've become so ingrained, right, in kung fu cinema, looking for Chinese kung fu actors, right, that all the Western actors in this, and there's fucking loads of them, right? Western
Quite a few.
fighters in this,
Yeah.
blended together, and I couldn't tell them apart.
Don't forget as
Do you
well
know what I mean? Do you know what I'm
the,
saying?
the authentic Native American fighter with the tomahawk as
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh yeah. He just walked into that saloon, didn't he?
Yeah,
You know, I must say that bar looked really lively.
it did.
yeah, that was fucking trouble, that bar.
But they did, they did black up some Chinese guy to play a Native
I think
American.
they did, yeah, they did.
I
Yeah.
mean, they were in America. They had like Native American people. They could have found a Native American
They
dude.
could have found one, but no,
Yeah.
they just didn't know.
It's empties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
well,
yeah,
speaking of cast, there were
yeah.
there was a couple of people I couldn't identify, right? Because there's another black guy, right?
Yeah, but he's doing karate. He looked real.
I was wondering who the hell is that, because he teams up with the bad guys for a while, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he looks like a real karate guy.
Yeah, there was
Simons
him,
doing.
and there's a white guy as well, the guy who plays Gibson, right? Like, there's no credit for him either.
No.
So I was wondering who those two guys were.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is that one? Was that one was wearing the shades?
Yeah, he was the one they had.
Yeah, he's quite funny though. He's quite funny in this.
Yeah, his
voice is really funny as well.
The plot is really strange in this film as well, right? Like
yeah, because I didn't get where the Gibson thing. Why is
they don't really need him.
No, because they've already got a trio of bad guys.
Yeah, so you got
really bad.
You got Louis Neglia,
yeah,
Joseph Jennings, and Ma Chung Tak, and this is interesting from the start.
Oh, that guy! I got a story about him.
Oh yeah,
John went to Hong Kong in 2019.
Yeah,
we were supposed to go to his gym.
Who, Ma Chung Tak?
Yeah, and his brother was there instead.
All right.
So we went there thinking it was him, but he was in Australia for some reason. He was in Australia. That guy we went to see, but it was his brother. And then I happened to have one of his fight scenes on my phone.
Ah, cool.
And I was showing it to him, showing his brother, and he went mad, mate. And he called he even called all the other guys that were in the gym.
Oh, that's brilliant.
We walked in and everybody thinking, who are these nutters? Obviously, we walked in the gym, everyone looking like, who are it? Obviously, got Toby, me, and Brendan just walked in, and my mate Ting, and he's like, who are these guys? And I showed him on his phone. Obviously, Toby said, oh, is he here? And he's like, no, he's in Australia. So that was quite interesting. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I think we didn't meet him there though, but yeah, but he's a good fighter. Yeah, he's real as well.
Yeah. I wanted to bring him up because, well, we'll talk about the other two as well, but him as well. Like the three of them all equip themselves, but none of them really are in that much. Ma Chung Tak's not in that many films, right? And he's not, and he doesn't get a show. Like, I was trying to think what he's in that he gets a show. He's in that Yun Bio film, Hero of Swallow, right? He plays an inspector or something in that.
Oh, right. Yeah, but he's more of a TV man, mate.
Ah, there we go.
He's a TV man. He's an ATV regular.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. There's the answer. There's the answer.
You're doing your job, Rodney. Yeah.
As always,
you're
mate.
Bringing it.
Yeah.
But then the other two, so Louis Neglia, who was like a kickboxer, right?
Champion, wasn't he? Yeah.
He's only in one more. He's in One Down, Two to Go with Fred Williamson and Richard Roundtree and Jim Kelly and Jim Brown's in it as well. He's in that. And then Joseph Jennings, who was a karate guy. It's quite good, actually. I quite like how everyone in this film gets introduced.
I love the credits. The credits are great. Yeah. 1975 world champion.
Yeah. So Joseph Jennings, he's in only one other film, something called Deadly Addiction from 1989, which I've not seen. But
but he had quite a good look about him, didn't he? I can imagine him.
Yeah.
He had the kind of look, didn't he? Like a good kind of movie look, you know, bad guy look. He had that quite.
Yeah. Well, all the Western dudes are really good at it.
Well, Louis Neglia was giving me big Don Stroud vibes.
Yeah.
I liked him. He's quite roughhouse, that guy.
Yeah, with that
stringy. But also they were doing a decent acting job considering they're just martial artists.
Yeah,
it's a well put together film.
Because obviously you got the backstory. They had some money. You know, did you see the little amount of money in that little bag he had?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't much money, was it?
No.
And he goes, "Oh, you need to hide it.
It was
bury it for a year and
it looked small. It was Bitcoin, is what it was.
That's
what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bag he had, wasn't it? It's like, well, is that
He
it?
had,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah,
even
it
a
was
case.
NFTs. He had
Yeah.
NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Trump NFTs that are worth loads of money now.
We're
So
gonna
obviously
make
they need
money
to,
great
yeah,
again.
Yeah.
so
But
they need
Lewis
to, yeah,
Neglia,
yeah.
though, worth mentioning because I was just shame that he's only in this and that other Fred Williamson film, because of all the, you know, sometimes they bring in like the big, you know, kind of white guy villain at the end, and some of them look kind of hard, but they're not very good at acting. Some of them
Yeah,
acting,
he looks
but
Neglia
Lewis
looks rough.
Neglia is
He
like
does.
he's
He's a
actually
fucking
looks quite
badass.
menacing, doesn't he?
Does.
Like,
He's
You
a
can tell he's
real
tough
villain
dude.
in this. Yeah.
yeah, I'd like
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
him in more. It's a shame he's not in more stuff. It really is.
Yeah, I'd have loved to have seen him go to Hong Kong instead of then coming to him and have him be the late 70s Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
I was going to say he's got that presence that
Yeah.
Chuck has in
He has.
Way
He
the
has.
Dragon or something. Yeah,
Well,
a
he's
shame.
arguably he's better than Chuck in Enter the Dragon.
and
'cause he
less
doesn't really-
hairy.
Exactly, not
yes,
Enter the Dragon,
true.
Way of the Dragon. Yeah.
But maybe he didn't want to be, you know, maybe he's just a real martial artist guy, but he wanted to
Yeah.
train
That's it.
people, and
Yeah, he didn't want to
Yeah.
maybe he
mess
didn't want
about
to be a
with.
film star. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
big
enough.
shame. Big shame. The lot of them, all the
But
Western
I must
dudes.
say, this film has quite a lot of villains in it, doesn't it? If you think about it,
There's like
Yeah.
4 or 5 villains.
after
Yeah.
yes, quite a lot of villains. So obviously they obviously go to Carl's family to try and take over the house.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, so
pretty
they try and
nasty
take
as well,
over
wasn't it?
the. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a ranch, right? And they kill his parents. Spoilers alert! He kill his parents. Carl Scott's rescued by Billy Chong and his mate Lam Hak Ming, who's working at-
But I'd like to know where they get a contract. They bought a contract for him to sign. I'd like to know where they got that contract from, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to be on the run, these guys, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's very
And
strange.
and he went there with a contract.
And for a
Take
while,
over the house.
everyone,
Maybe one of them's a lawyer.
everyone's
You know.
just after Louis Neglia, right? Who's busy punching ice. Like
Yeah,
everyone's just looking for him, but they use all these intermediaries, and Gibson gets involved.
Yeah.
I tell you the biggest shame of this film, that I love this film. It was so much fun all the way through. The only thing it drops the ball in is the fact that they've got How You Sing from Snake and the Monkey's Shadow.
Yeah, that was like a throwaway fight, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and he's hardly
yeah.
in it. Like when he turned up, I was like, oh, now there, here we go. This is going to be good.
Yeah, that was like
And
he
he
just
just-
thrown in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was weird.
what a waste.
Yeah.
But obviously, when Carl gets rescued, and obviously, I like the training when he's watching him training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that guy there, I think that's Bruce Lang's brother. You know,
It's Bruce.
That's one of-
It's Bruce Lung's
Bruce Lang.
dad.
Yeah.
He's what?
His
That's
dad.
his dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lung
Wow.
Siu Chung. He choreographed it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the family, the whole family's Kung, mate.
Yeah. But that's his dad. That's
Yeah,
Bruce Lee's
right.
dad.
That's
Yeah.
his dad. Okay, so
Yeah.
so you've got. So I think there's
Um,
other brothers that might not been in films.
Yeah.
But the whole
And
family's all martial artists. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what impresses me about this, right? Is Lung Soo Chung, right, has been choreographing films since like the early 60s.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's like as old as like I learned older even.
Yeah, we need to
And
shine
he's-
a light on him, I think, at some point.
I
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
completely
people that
agree.
need a lot of light shined on them. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. But the choreography in this is tight as fuck.
Is yeah.
It's if someone said to me Tommy Lee choreographed it, Pangang choreographed it, I'd fucking believe it.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
obviously
it's that good.
Yeah. Because obviously when Carl had his little bit of training, the minute he went off, his little showcase was just amazing.
Mm.
Straight in as well.
So fast as well. It's
Yeah.
It's not messing about with him, him doing a move and it's wrong and he falls over.
No. It's just
No,
he's
no.
in
Straight
there.
in.
Yeah.
Straight in.
The highlight here, I think, for the Carl Scott watcher is the fight in the quarry
Yes.
when he takes on
Yes.
all comers. That's the
Yeah.
business right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if we're talking Billy Chong, I think it's the fight with Ma Chung Tak in
The knife fight.
interior fight with the staff.
Oh,
That's
I
a
liked
great
the knife fight. The knife fight was good as well.
Knife fight's pretty good as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
the Neglia shines in the ending as well, right?
Yeah, because he does his little armor technique, doesn't he? He does a new technique, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Where he can't get
Yeah.
hit. And obviously he remembers the pressure point where to hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy says to him where you hit him in the groin or the armpit.
Mm. Yeah. Which is a
Yeah.
bit weird for this period, right? It's a bit.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Did forget to mention as well that both this and Soul Brothers directed by the same guy, right? Warshan.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
'cause
screenplay for both is by Lin Chan-wai, who we'll get to as the director of the next film.
That's right.
Yeah.
I must say, I do feel sorry for that barman though. He didn't.
I know. He was such a
Ambushed.
nice
He's
man.
got a good character, nice guy, and he just got
Yeah.
killed, mate.
Yeah.
Not bad for him, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that this film's got everything.
Entertainment,
It's
man.
got
So
it's
entertaining.
it's so the choreography is good.
Yeah.
It's
I
different.
forgot to mention there's some Japanese fighters in there as well for a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah,
some
the
fucking
samurai in there.
turn up.
Yeah. There's a lot
What
going on in this film, mate.
what are they doing in 1979? Fucking
Well, they'd seen
Arizona.
In Arizona.
they'd seen Red Sun with Charles Bronson.
Oh, they go. Oh, that's it.
Toshiro
That's it.
Mifune,
Yeah.
right? They thought,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
go
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, man. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
But yeah, I think it's just got everything. So it's unusual, right? In that it's in Arizona, right? It's a Western-ish sort of.
yeah.
It's an Eastern Western. Choreography's on point. The action is non-stop.
Non-stop, yeah.
And it's all the baddies are like, well, I know there's Lam Hak Ming in it, but it's like there's a lot of Western talent in this that you don't usually see as well.
Yeah. And the fact that they turn on each other, don't they? Towards like
Yeah, I love that.
midway.
Yeah.
You know,
The other
they turn on
element-
each other.
The other element
Yeah.
as well of the time that I think is easy to overlook, and because it doesn't last long, because to begin with, they're causing trouble at the saloon because they're having these bare knuckle fights outside, and that's
Yeah.
straight out of like Every Which Way But Loose or something like that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, when did that come out? That came out 78,
78 or
didn't
something.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing
Yeah,
you're
so it's in
missing
that,
in this, and it would make a difference because the period details fucked. You're missing like some truckers on CB radios, and then it
That's
would
it.
be perfect 70s all the way.
Yeah. Rubber ducky and
If you remember, wasn't Billy John supposed to find his granddad or something? Isn't that why he went to America?
That's why Billy
Was he-
John's there, to find his
Yeah.
granddad.
But he didn't find him, did he?
No, we
That's
never
a
seen the
good point.
granddad.
I never thought of that.
Because they make a
You're
whole
right.
big
He
deal
didn't
as a
find him.
backstory, right? Because he gets into trouble in China and he has to go
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
The usual thing. He don't want to study. He just loves to fight.
Yeah, so it's basically the Fresh Prince of
Well, he's just like he's playing the same character at a superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's just-
yeah,
Prince
no,
of
totally, yeah.
Arizona.
Education.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah, I was
fight?
trying to think of a town in Arizona, but I couldn't think of a town in
Oh, okay.
Arizona. But yeah.
Phoenix. I think this is Phoenix.
Oh, is it?
Actually.
The Fresh
There we go,
Prince of Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Anyway,
Right,
good.
yeah.
But yeah.
But yes,
fucking
there's a good
brilliant.
fight scene when Carl gets revenge. You know, we go
Oh,
back
yeah.
to his house.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a great fight scene. That was a really good fight
Absolutely.
scene.
Yeah, because there's some good stakes in this as well.
That's
Because it's
right.
like because they've
Yeah.
come in and his family's murdered, Billy Chong's getting humiliated, the baddies are extra fucking nasty, and you're instantly invested in seeing these fucking dudes
That's
get
right.
taken down.
And the fact that Negler wasn't too bothered about that bloke was after him. He didn't care, did he? He just sat
No.
down, relaxing, didn't he? Under the
Yeah,
he just
Crack
sat
on.
on, put his hat down, and
yeah. That's
he's
brilliant.
quite a good
yeah.
villain in this.
Yeah. No, so if you haven't seen it, you need to get on
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like you said, it is definitely the best of the bunch of East meets West.
Yeah. And
Yes,
I think I
definitely.
watched this on YouTube as Sun Dragon as well, just for people if people are trying to find it.
Yeah,
So let's
Sundragon,
power
yeah.
through then
Yeah.
to the next one. I think let's get this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because it's funny. I didn't expect this but this might be the weakest of the three for me.
I am amazed at my own reaction to Kung Fu Execution.
Yeah, you were very. Yeah, me too. I was very, and it's not bad. I enjoyed it, but it's.
I don't know. I like this. I like Chen singing it.
Oh, Chen Sing's fucking great.
The minute the aggro he caused, the minute
But it never occurred to me
he
before
escapes.
quite how much
many
of,
films-
off
yeah.
of The Godfather it is, right?
Yeah,
It's
So
shocking, isn't it?
this is Kung Fu Executioner, and it's not Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. This is more like a Ford Fiesta Cup of Soups, The Godfather.
yeah.
Francis Ford Fiesta.
Francis Ford Fiesta Cup of Soup.
Well, it's like how it starts with Chen Sing going over that prison wall. How many walls has he gone over that bloke? Really?
Chen Sing's he's just the wrong one. Chen Sing is just like he's probably like that in real life.
So this is
Yeah,
81.
I'll tell you the other thing about Chen Sing that unnerves me. Right, there is an unusually high percentage of Chen Sing's films that have sex scenes with him getting his ass out in.
Yeah, you do wonder
It's-
if it's in his
it's-
contract.
maybe.
So we need to get a graph. We need to get
Mm.
graphics on this, right? Or some sort of Venn diagram, right?
Yeah.
Where, you know, Chen Sing's ass out? Is he a villain? You know, we need to work out all the
It makes
parameters
you
on this
wonder
because
he's
it's an
'cause
anomaly.
because he's supposed to be the main. He's supposed to be he's the original villain for Red the Dragon, wasn't he?
Oh, he was
Was
going to
he?
be
What?
Han, was he?
He was
I
no,
didn't know that.
no, sorry, yeah, well, Way of the Dragon.
Oh,
He's
right,
supposed-
oh,
Were
right.
you the dragon?
He's supposed,
Right.
he's supposed to be the main. He was the original villain.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that came out. I mean, that came out about 3 years ago. Yeah, and I was
Oh,
told on the Way of the Dragon. I think that the album or something. There's a picture of Chen Sing on it.
Maybe
I
they
don't know if they
replaced
actually.
him. Maybe it wasn't
Yeah, they
supposed to be
replaced
the
him with Chuck
villain.
Norris.
Maybe they replaced him with that kitten watching the fight at the end. Maybe that was supposed to be zoom
Yeah.
ins on Chan
Yeah.
Sing's face.
So if he was in that,
or
he put him in
ass.
he put him in another naked shot, wouldn't he? In Way of the Dragon, if he was in that.
Yeah.
Darren,
he would have.
you are obsessed with Chan Sing's ass. Stop it.
I mean, those buns are tight. That's all I'm saying.
Without a doubt.
The
Without a doubt.
man's in good shape.
So we're
Yeah.
talking I'm talking the 81, 41. This is a composite a little bit again. I think this is the one on
Yeah.
Amazon because it gets a bit German for a few seconds now and again.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, if you noticed that.
Yeah.
A little bit, wasn't it? It wasn't too
Yeah.
long.
No,
It was
no,
a little
no.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing substantial. So yeah, so this is basically The Godfather with Billy Chong as Al Pacino. And there's a little bit of Godfather 2
Yeah.
in there as well when there's a murder in a chair.
Yeah.
Right? That's out of the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And it's basically it's the family and people want to deal drugs, but they don't want anything to do with that, and they muscle in. And and
yeah.
Chan Sing's an escaped convict who's brought in to kill everyone, basically. And
But he had beef with someone else that put him in there in prison in the first place, wasn't it?
yes, and
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
speaking, we were talking about with Hard Way to Die. At least you kind of get the idea that it's supposed to be the Wild West. Is Kung Fu Execution supposed to be set in the 1930s?
Yeah, I'm thinking 30s.
I think so.
Because he's wearing a white suit, doesn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Whenever you see a white suit, it's always the 30s, isn't it?
And
Yeah, I think it's the
also,
30s.
it doesn't specify it in the English dub, but I think the villains are supposed to be Japanese as well, right?
I think
Yes.
yeah,
Because they're
Yeah,
always
Chang-
whipping out
yeah,
katanas.
Chang Tao, yeah.
wearing-
Chang Tao's definitely
supposed to be.
Japanese.
And Lilian Yu Li, right? Who quite like her in this film.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't think that's her in the shower. There's like someone
No.
does a bit of
No, that's clearly not her in the
No.
shower.
Yeah, who's the knife man? He was quite nasty. He was
Mm.
nasty look about him, didn't he, that guy? What was his name?
I'm written him down.
No, I'm written him down.
What was he? Can you? I can't remember him seeing him in other stuff. Can you?
No.
No, he wasn't
He
familiar.
was good though. He was good. Again,
He was
and the
good.
choreography again by Leung Soo Chun, right?
Mm.
I know it's 1981, right? So
Yeah,
you've got no excuse for not
Yeah.
being able to do good choreography in 1981.
yeah,
But
and also yeah.
it's still very high level choreography.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
and-
look at the intro. One of the best.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
That it's a red screen.
Yes, it's a red
If you've got
screen. Yeah,
people-
yeah.
If you've got people doing kung fu on a red screen, it's
Yeah.
automatically
And the
good.
nunchucks and the kicks and that music is that music from what's that film? That's not from Mandingo. That film, is it? The music from that.
Ooh, don't know. I didn't
I
recognize
think
it.
it's from there.
Interesting that you bring up Mandingo there, right?
I think that's from there. Yeah.
Which of these films? Which of the? Oh, here we go. It's A Hard Way to Die, right? You look at the cast of A Hard Way to Die, right? There's a Chinese actor in the. His name is, I swear to God, Mandingo. That's
No,
his
really?
name. And I looked at it and
I
I
mean,
was
it
thinking, is
could
that a
be.
real name or is it a gag
I mean,
name?
it could
Could be just a
his
real
real
name. His name is Mandingo.
Yeah.
That's mad.
However, yeah, but given the subject matter of the film,
I don't know.
I don't know, black
know.
man's farm getting taken over. That's a bit.
I don't know.
He's in other things. It's not like this is the only film he's in. He's got a lot of
Oh,
famous
okay.
Hong Kong films.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I
Okay.
thought
If
that was
he's
just, I
around,
thought,
that's
wow,
fine.
what are the
Yeah,
chances?
yeah. Anyway.
As kind of a bit shoddy as this film is, which it is, let's be honest, the
Yeah.
final 25 minutes is just fuck the plot, chuck it out the window, let's just have just some top-notch action all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Carl's fighting here was top level.
It's nice though, you mentioned the red. It was nice, even though the best showcase is A Hard Way to Die. I like the fact that Carl Scott, even though he only did these 3 films, he got the chance to do some shapes in front of a red screen.
Yes.
He did,
yes.
he did.
Yes.
And what's mad, he appears first.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got top billing. Yeah.
Top billing,
which is really interesting. Because Billy Chong and Billy Chong's already established at this point as well.
Yeah, but he went first.
So exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder what was the following, right, in Hong Kong for Carl Scott, right? Was this like his moment?
And the thing is, Carl Scott's character, what does he live with the family or something? Was he part of the?
I
don't know who the hell he's supposed to be honest.
No, he's just there, mate.
He's like an adopted son, isn't he? He's like just like a dude that lives in a house, isn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't. But he wasn't part of the actual, the business side, was he?
No.
No. Yeah.
So Billy Chong goes to America, and then he stays there.
Yeah.
It's random, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't know.
He's just there, mate. Yeah.
He's just there. He's just there.
Billy Chong's come back after finding his grandfather in Arizona. Finally, There's a middle part of the trilogy we didn't see.
Yeah. I mean, the standout fight in this, seeing as we are talking about Carl Scott, and this is memorializing Carl Scott, standout fight is the sawmill. Carl Scott in the sawmill,
really good,
killing that dude with that like log grab thing. Yeah.
Oh, that was quite nice. And also he had that other fight with the other guy who was training, wasn't he? Then Carl comes in.
Yeah.
But isn't there a bit where the first fight scene he's fighting that bloke, and you don't even know who he is? The first fight was that some cut scene there? Who was that guy?
I don't know.
So we had a chat, didn't you? You said this on our chat before we recorded, or a few days ago, or even a few weeks ago, that you thought that we're looking at cuts on this, right? Cuts for violence, maybe. I think the same thing, because I'm convinced that the version I had on VHS back in the day was longer.
Well, I'm wondering about that lumberyard scene. Might have been a bit gorier as well, right? Because there's band saws and things, and
yeah.
But he's just beating up some guy that comes in there, and you don't know why he's there or who he is. They're the big guy, isn't it? I forgot his name, the actor's name, and then you don't even know why or who he was.
No.
He's just obviously Carl dumps him in.
We got some more nunchaku as well going on here.
That's right.
Always good. Always
That's a good fight. A really good fight. Really good. Really good kicks as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, he got kind of, obviously Carl's a few years later, but he got quite bigger, didn't he? Obviously a lot taller.
Oh yeah, he was beefy.
A bit more built. And his kicks were even better.
Yeah,
he's done a lot more kicking in this.
Brilliant.
One.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a master at everything, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and we're not just bigging him up because he's gone, but he's nothing he can't do. It's like it's like, I know it's not that fashionable these days to big up Cynthia Rothrock, right? But Cynthia Rothrock's a legit kung fu master.
Yeah,
and she can do everything that Hong Kong actors can do, right?
Yeah.
The Peking opera actors can do. And Carl Scott's the same.
Insane,
right?
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
and he's not
And
big.
I'm not even talking about kickboxing. I'm talking about like kung fu.
No,
You know what I
kung
mean?
fu,
Oh,
proper kung fu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
proper
yeah,
kung
yeah.
fu.
I think
Yeah.
it
And not
is just
looking,
down.
and not looking rigid doing it.
I think
Not
it's
looking
just
awkward
down,
doing
No.
it.
down to
Yeah.
him not having done that many films. I think that's just it, right? Like,
Yeah,
not that many. We know who he is, and
Yeah.
fans know who he is, but he
Yeah.
just didn't do enough films for people to
Yeah.
get traction and people to
but,
remember him.
but what's funny? He left a mark though.
He
Because
did.
obviously
Yeah.
he did. But what little he did, he left a major mark.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
mark.
But also compare him to other Western actors, right? That have gone to Hong Kong, right? Cynthia Rothrock, I think, is the exception,
Yeah.
right, rather than the rule. I don't think there's a single Western actor beyond, probably until Cynthia Rothrock, right, who can perform as well on screen as Carl Scott.
Carl Scott, yeah.
Full stop.
Full
right?
stop, yeah.
There just isn't one, right?
There
and
isn't
we've
one,
seen,
no.
and because he's died in the World Kung Fu, and it's probably his age as well. It's like he was like flexible, had
That's what
loads
I'm
of
saying,
energy,
yeah.
had good training, and
Yeah,
had
it's just-
some good
It's
choreographers.
a shame
right?
he didn't do
But
more.
I know.
You know, it's a shame he didn't do more, man. It's a big shame.
Ah,
I mean,
can you
he'd have been
imagine?
wicked in even 1980s moderns later on.
Well,
Or mid-80s, late ones. I mean, he'd have been wicked in them.
funny enough,
Even not even, yeah.
I'd quite like to have seen him in Original Gangsters with Pam Grier and Fred Williamson, and
Oh yeah,
actually, but that's on a tangent. But anyway,
yeah.
also R.I.P. Larry Cohen.
Yeah.
That's a few years ago, but yeah. But but it's the fights are great, right? The stories, not much to it.
I would say
But
if you're planning a Carl Scott triple bill,
Yeah.
don't go chronological. Put this at the beginning. Because if you put it at the beginning, it's not overshadowed.
It's ramping up.
It's
Yeah,
good.
but
It's good. It's fun enough. Do this, then
it's
Brothers,
fine.
then Hard Way to Die.
Yeah.
But this was my favorite Billy Chong film. Right, this was of all the Billy Chong films that I've seen that there aren't that many of in Hong Kong. This was the top of my list back in the day, and I saw them all quite close together.
Yeah.
And I'm not understanding why I rated this higher than any.
Yeah, no, me too. I was
films.
quite enamored of it as well.
Yeah. It could be because we hadn't seen any Hong Kong gangster films.
Maybe, yeah.
We may not have seen the Hong Kong gangster films at that point and realised how average this is for a Hong Kong gangster film, right?
Yeah. Because obviously, so Billy's brother, that's obviously the guy, what's it, the ATV guy who was in Sun Dragon, yeah. He's quite a bit of an annoying character, isn't he? In this, really, he's pretty useless, isn't he? In this,
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty. I mean, he didn't make good decisions, did he? Really?
No,
I would quite like to do, if they're easy to get. Actually, I'd quite like to do some of Willie Dozan's Indonesian films.
Yes. Although he is apparently a total wanker.
Is that right?
So
Really?
Yes, apparently. Yeah, apparently.
Well, I heard there were some issues on that Mad Mission, Ace to Go Places 5, wasn't there? Mad Mission or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah,
there were some issues on there.
Is Billy Chong in that? The fifth one?
Yeah, he's at the end, mate.
That's the one I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen the fifth one.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think he was quite cocky on the set, and then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
He got asked to leave. Yeah, I think I heard that he's a few issues with Pops on there. So, yeah, he's quite. I think he's quite a cocky guy. But then look at him. You can see he's quite a cocky guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
He had the whole package, didn't he, Billy? Isn't it?
Yeah. But he's still on telly now. He's still doing stuff now.
He's still doing stuff now. Yeah, I think he's done a few
in Indonesia.
series.
Yeah.
No, I've got a few of them films because he got his version of Crystal Fish, isn't it? Was it Pentagon Lie?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
He did his own version of Crystal Fish, didn't he? Yeah.
There we go. There's one contender.
Lie. That's a good one. Yeah. I'm
All
not sure
right.
if it's subbed though. I'm not sure if it's subbed though. It's never been
That's all
dubbed. I
right.
don't think.
You can watch it raw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
especially
what
It's only a film,
if it's
isn't it? It's
the
not a
same
show.
story as Crystal Fist, then we can, you know,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, we
Yeah.
haven't done Crystal Fist, so why don't we do a double bill?
could do,
Could do. Yeah.
could do.
And
We
he
could do
done the
Billy Chong
kickboxing.
mock back.
Yeah. And he done a
Yeah.
kickboxing film called Rio, didn't he?
Right. Anyway, before we get lobbed off
Mm.
here,
Mm.
there we go. R.I.P.
That's
Carl
it.
Scott.
Yeah. Rest in
Um,
peace.
I mean, yeah,
Legend.
he didn't do much, but what he did was pretty fucking solid. This was
excellent.
I had a lot of fun watching
Yeah.
these three. I have to say, to see them just
Yes.
focus in on it is like, wow, okay, that's no.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
cinemas need to get in on this action as well, right? I know there's
yeah.
I know Beverly Cinema, New Beverly Cinema
New
did.
Bev, yeah, that would be a.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you can get Prince, but yeah, this would be a hell of a triple.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Do a Carl Scott triple.
That's right, man.
Because
That'd be brilliant. Yeah.
because that's a fucking good time for everyone.
I
right?
think-
especially
I think
especially the other side of the pond.
the
That'd be a
issue
packed
would
house,
be,
mate. Yeah, that'd be a
yeah,
packed
the
house.
issue there would be
Definitely.
is they famously, the New Bev only does stuff on film, right? And I'm not sure if you're getting
Oh
film
yeah,
rights
yeah.
to these, right? So
Yeah.
it would probably have to be DCP or something.
Yeah.
Certainly for Soul Brothers and
Yeah.
anyway, we're away.
Yep.
Yeah, see you all next time.
See you next time.
Farewell, Carl.
Bye bye.